Let's fight some more demons. Hey everyone, welcome to Prince of the Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with episode 4 of Jentry Chau versus the Underworld. It has been a very sad couple of weeks because we have not had Jentry Chau. But that's because last Wednesday was Christmas. This Wednesday was New Year's Day. How am I supposed to work with that? How am I supposed to work with that? So there wouldn't have been a Jentry Chau until next Wednesday, and I just couldn't deal with that. We were coming back for reactions today, and so I decided, no, I can't deal with that. We have to get up the next episode this week. So on top of Blue Eye Samurai, which was our normal Friday show, I decided I wanted to do this as well. And so, yeah, we're having Jentry Chau. So things kind of went pretty bad last time with Jentry setting fire to a kitchen. Not great. Everyone knows already about everything. She's getting, not really treated well because of it. Her grandmother's a piece of shit. Or not grandmother, great aunt. I keep wanting to say she's the grandmother. Because it's like that's how it typically goes. But no, she's her great aunt, Goo. She's a piece of shit either way. Because we find out that she is not only hiding the truth about Jentry's parents from her, but she's actively lying for what she perceives as Jentry's own good. And that's toxic and abusive as fuck. Like, you're never going to be able to convince me otherwise, either. That is one of the more toxic things a person can do, especially to someone who, is still not really happy about losing her parents. Even though it's been years, it's like she's still in a very bad place with that. Which is valid and fair. Not everybody is able to move on from that super easily. Like some people can move on and make a good life for themselves, and they'll always miss their parents, and they'll always be like, sad about it. But they'll be able to, continue on. And then there's other people who won't. And I'm not saying Jentry's like the worst of that. Like she's not like focusing on it 24/7, but she's not good about it either. And then she's being gaslit by the villain into thinking it was like all like a ruse. Well, by the villain and Goo. Into thinking it was all fake, that it was all like a trick from him. And it's just like, no, girl, like everything you saw there was entirely real. You were literally told that to your face, but because of like how you've been gaslit and talked down to, she now thinks that it was all like a trick that she can't trust. And it's just like, oh my fucking god. It irritates me so bad because, like, I understand that it's not her fault, but it's like, I want her to know. And I just really hate Goo for it. And I'm sorry, I'm just really on the Goo hate train right now. Maybe that'll change, maybe she'll redeem herself, it's very possible, but like the entire I know what's best for you mentality is so fucking abusive and toxic, and I fucking despise it. It pisses me off on such a visceral level. Like, maybe even more than it probably should. But it does. And so, yeah. We'll see how it goes, though. And I'm still enjoying the series. Like, the music, for one, is phenomenal. Like, there's been various shows out there over the years there where it's just like the music hits more than almost anything. And this is definitely one of those shows where it's like the music is just that good. But you have a great voice cast as well. You have really fun art and animation. Not the best, but still really good and definitely fitting for the series. The darker themes and tones of this series are phenomenal. It's a very adult series that for some reason is advertised on Netflix as being for kids, which is fucking stupid. But it's a very adult series, and I was not really expecting that going in. But I'm very happy about it. Like, I like this shit, so hey. On top of that, I found out on Spotify and probably other places as well, there's actually a full version of the theme song. Like a full, like, I don't know, like 3 minute or so version. I think it's just under 3 minutes. It's not super long, but like a full version of the theme that goes beyond what you hear here, and it's really fucking good. It's a good theme. Um, I've just been really into this series, and apparently the creator has said, I have heard something about this. I don't know like details on where this season goes or anything, so I'm still blind on that. But I have heard the like creator said that they want to do another season, that they like have ideas or whatnot, but they need basically they need us to watch. They need us to, support the series and everything. To talk about it, to advertise for it, to get other people to watch it if we can. Because it's like that's what's going to get them the possibility of another season. So it's like, yeah, if you're enjoying this as well, spread the word. Get other people to check it out. Do what you can. Because I can only do so much myself. But this is definitely a show that I would like to see continue. And I don't even know how this season's going to end. So it might leave it up with like this big cliffhanger that like we really would need a continuation for. Don't let this be glitch checks again or what's the other one? Shit. Dead End Paranormal Park. Don't leave this off on a big cliffhanger, please. Don't let it leave off on a big cliffhanger because Netflix is really bitchy about like what they need for an animated series, especially to continue. But let's just get into this, see what this episode has in store for us, and hope for the best. Hold up just a second there. Before you click that link down in the description below to go to today's reaction, I just wanted to take this moment real quick to remind you of all the awesome content we have on the channel. Between Monday and Friday, we have a plethora of awesome series reactions, with 2 on Wednesday. We also have movie reactions every Saturday and Sunday. I do pre-record them during the week, but upload them on the weekend. And don't forget about all the awesome gaming content over on the Princess of Gaming channel. Every single day of the week, we have some awesome Let's Plays for you. A bunch of different things to check out, and more coming in the future. And don't forget to click that subscribe button or like the video if you really enjoy the content I'm putting out. There will be more to come in the future. In the meantime, thank you so much for tuning in, and let's get this going. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, yeah. Gugu continues to prove that she cannot be trusted at all, and the Mogwai guy, he's kind of proving the opposite almost. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say, like, oh, his idea of, like, I'm going to, like, sacrifice as many people as it takes to bring back my daughter and everything. I'm not saying that's, like, a good idea. But he made a very, very valid point. It's like, he's doing anything it takes for his family because, like, out of love. While Gugu would absolutely trade Jentry in a heartbeat for her powers. And, yeah, it's just like, her entire argument of, I know what's best for you, basically, is so fucking toxic and abusive. It's terrible. She, as we saw at the end of last episode, is literally like hiring this mercenary woman to come after Gentry, which I'm surprised that didn't happen this episode, by the way. Um, but she's absolutely hiring her for the future to come after Gentry to like get her powers going and everything, even though she's told Gentry we're gonna find another way without you having to use them. So it's like on top of that open lie, she's also literally sicking a mercenary on her and still lying like through her teeth about the entire stuff with her parents. And it's just like, I think Gugu's like kind of the real villain here, honestly. Um, she, it's not only that she can't be trusted, it's that, like, honestly, if I were Gentry and I found out about this, I would completely shut her out of my life. Like, completely. It's just, she's not a good person. And again, that could change. She could absolutely redeem herself, but right now she's kind of doubling down on it. Meanwhile, we have Billy, who's the villain of the episode specifically. He was this young kid who 30 years ago was being made fun of for being different and being obsessed with the Alamo and stuff. And so he used a Ouija board to contact the spirits of these Alamo soldiers. And now, 30 years later, is having them possess these kids on the field trip here in order to reenact it because he's obsessed with it and like glorifies and idolizes it, despite the fact that, as it was pointed out in this episode, the people of the Alamo were not the good guys. They were very much the villains of the story. So yeah, we have a lot of possession where it leads to them becoming zombie-like, which we see a bit of in the opening. So that was definitely hinted at there. And we see prior to that all the students are still not happy with Gentry. And even Stella's kind of turned on her a bit. But after all of this, it seems like they've kind of gone back to her side and are supporting her again. Though we don't see Stella's reaction to all of that yet. So I'm wondering why that's being hidden from us as of now. Because even on the bus, she was asleep at that point. So is Stella going to have turned around again and be willing to be Gentry's friend again? Or is she going to still be holding out? Unclear at the moment. But the imagery in this and everything and the conceptual like ideas of the possessions and all, how it was executed especially, were very frightening. Again, not a kid's show. I really enjoyed what they did with it. And this guy who came from the Underworld to like take the spirits back or whatever he did, I want to know more about who that is, because he never actually explained that. Gentry's like, "Who are you?" He's like, "Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Peace." Just leaves without explaining anything. It's like, all right. So we're probably gonna see him again, I would assume. Um, yeah, this is another really good episode. I don't really have much to say about Ed's part in all of this, about the entire he wants to be scary, not cute thing, and getting followers on TikTok. I have nothing really to say about that. And I've already talked about the difference between Gugu and Mogwai as the bad guys and everything, and who the real villain clearly is. The spirits, the ghosts being like hurt by loud noises is an interesting touch. I wonder if there's like lore surrounding that in various cultures. I don't know, because I don't think I've heard of that before. But it's interesting. I'm just curious where all this is going to go at this point. How is this going to continue to go on? Are we going to continue to kind of get like little bits of the story as we go while we focus on the episodic stuff as well. Because I'm fine with that. I've talked before how I like it when they combine episodic problems and villains and stuff while also continuing the story and the main plot related stuff. It's a good combination that, when executed well, like works almost better than either episodic or serialized on their own. It just depends on how well it's executed. And so far, I think it's being done really well here. So we'll see how that ends up continuing. As for Kit, because this is obviously the big reveal at the end and the big thing to talk about. Let's first talk about Kit and Jentry, because there's clearly the relationship being built up here. I don't see it. And I don't know if that's only me, but I don't see the chemistry between them. And I'm actually seeing chemistry between her and Michael. And I don't know how to feel about this because Michael's with Stella. And I feel like if Michael leaves Stella and ends up starting to date Jentry, that will cause problems with Stella. And it's like, how is that going to affect Kit? And it's like, just, I feel like this is going to go into some weird love triangle, love square shit. And it's just like, you don't need to do this. I understand the characters are teenagers, and yeah, teenagers tend to like think about this kind of stuff and focus on this stuff to a degree, but you don't need to have this be a big part of things like you're seeming to. Because like you saw the way like Michael looked over at Jentry there, but also like looked really sad over at Stella and everything, and you saw like how she and Kid are connecting and all, and it's just like, I don't feel like we need this. It's like this was the weakest part of The Legend of Korra. We don't need it here too. But in all seriousness, yeah, I just don't see them having really any chemistry. Kit and Jentry. Like Jentry likes him, and we know that because of the blushes and her constantly glancing at him and stuff like that, leaving the heart on the text. I don't know how he feels about her at all. Because especially after this reveal, it kind of like makes it, but even before then, it's like I genuinely can't get a read on him. I can't tell if he's a good guy, I can't tell if he's a bad guy, I can't tell if he likes her, I can't tell if he just sees her as a friend or if he just has no real thoughts on her. I don't know. I genuinely don't know what to get from this character right now. The reveal at the end, though, that he's a demon and is wearing, like, some kind of flesh suit. One, is that a real person's flesh that he's wearing? Because if so, Jesus, fuck. And if not, where did he get a fake flesh suit that looks and feels real from everything we can tell? Also, this again brings up the question, is he a good guy or a bad guy? Is he actually like being friends and liking Jentry? Or is he here on like working with the Mogwai? Because I think in the opening, the Mogwai's like mask or something is seen behind him while he's like sitting there with the angel wings. So he might be working for the Mogwai. He might, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's a bad guy either. So it's like, it's kind of up in the air about everything with that. Obviously, don't spoil me. I'm just going based off of what I've seen, and I don't want to actually know where this is going to go yet. We can figure that out as we watch. Yeah, I don't know exactly what to expect from this, how to read a lot of that, but maybe that's just because I'm autistic and can't read people very well. But usually I'm okay with like fictional characters, especially animated fictional characters. Because they're usually written to be, better read or easier read. But then you have like him and it's just like, I have no idea what to take from you. And again, that's part of the reason why I don't think he and Jentry have any level of chemistry, because he just doesn't give anything. And I feel like Gentry's feelings for him are based purely on like the fact that he's like perceived as cute to her. She finds him attractive, and that's about it. And so it's like, I don't know what to think. That's pretty much what it comes down to. But I mean, obviously, we're gonna see that as it continues. I'm very curious to see what he is because we didn't get a good view of it, and I want to like know what his entire deal is. Because if he just ends up being a villain, it's like as long as it's executed well, I can dig that. If he ends up being like not a bad guy, but working for the villain, but ends up betraying that to help Gentry, I can deal with that too. Because again, I've seen that done well in various pieces of media. It just depends on how things are executed, so we'll see. In the meantime, though, tell me in the comments below what you thought of this episode of Jentry Chau versus the Underworld. And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.